This staff Healing Catalyst build is highly underrated. It can upkeep 10 boons permanently, and strong ones at that, for example, stability and quickness and protection, of course. So it's really, really good, and it provides a lot of healing, and most of it actually from range. Not only the boons, but also the healing. It is a capable tank. It's perfect for almost any content in the game. Support your allies in a squad, in a party. It's really, really good. So today we're going to take a look at this build. And if you watch the whole video, you should be easily able to upkeep those amount of boons and have utilities for all situations. So without much further ado, let's jump right in. So for gear, we are healing build. We go with full Harrier armor, which means we get power main stat and healing power and concentration secondary. We use Superior Rune of the Monk for even more healing power. We use a staff with area stats and transference and paralyzation sigil. Paralyzation just for more break bar damage, and transference for more healing power output to any allies. For trinkets, we use full givers, which means we get toughness major stat with healing power and concentration secondary stat. For rings, however, you use Harrier as well to just get the highest amount of boon duration and healing power we can get. This build is typically played in raids as a tank, so be aware that your toughness is high enough to tank. If you don't want to be the tank, you should lower it and go with full Harrier, for example, or the tank has higher toughness than you. For Relic, you want to go with Relic of Caracosa. Whenever you combo a blast finisher with a combo field, you proc this Relic, doesn't have an ICD, and it will heal your allies. That does not mean it will heal you, it will only heal your allies, but the healing is quite potent, especially with all the outgoing healing modifiers. You get over 2k healing just by blast finishes, and you have a lot of blast finishers with this build in particular. Also with staff, of course, in general. So let's quickly talk about the utility and food consumables. So as always, the Ascended Food bowl of fruit salad with wind garnish is the best option for a healer. If you can't afford that or you don't have Ascended cooking yet, then go with delicious rice balls. And then on your utility slot, the best option is by far, and I'm really talking by far, Bountiful Maintenance Oil. Yes, I know it's expensive, but if you want to play the best option possible, this is immense how much outgoing healing power you get. When it comes to the traits, we run Water, Arcane, and Catalyst. Water is our healing trait line. We get some nice soothing mists while we attune to water, and this is at an internal cooldown, so to say, when it procs 3 seconds, and it then lasts for 10 seconds. Then we get some nice healing when you swap to water, and you get more healing output, and your water skills have less recharge. When you dodge, you remove burning and chill. You cleanse a condition when you go to water, and you get vitality, but more importantly, soothing mist, so this passive effect is stronger. You can see this is now 2000 heal roughly, and now it's 4000, over 4000. This is really, really good. It's a passive heal. It's very, very strong. You have almost 1.2k passive healing per second with regeneration as well. And you can upkeep that 100%, of course, because you just have to dip in water every 10 seconds, so to say. And you can do that because you're running Arcane and your elemental recharge is that low. So let's talk about Arcane. You get boons, not that important. You give boons to allies when might, regeneration, swiftness, protection. You can see almost 100% protection uptime already just from this trait. Really, really strong. And then recharge reduction of elementals, what I already talked about, and more concentration. So really, really good. Then swapping attunements restores health, not that important. But here, very important. Create a geyser to heal nearby allies when you revive downed allies. Geyser also now revives downed allies a little bit, 7%. That can help a lot to get a fast resurrection. And when you begin reviving an ally, you gain an aura based on your attunement. It can also be quite helpful just for more magnetic auras, for example, that you can then transmute with your staff and give stability. So really, really strong trait. And then lastly, Evasive Arcana. So most importantly here, Cleansing Wave in water heals and removes conditions. And the Shockwave in earth will be a blast finisher, so it procs the Caracosa relic and of course gives you, for example, an aura because you're in Catalyst. If you do it in a combo field, that is. And you can do that in a water field, for example, and have another heal there. So really, really good trait here. Really helpful. Then Catalyst, you get access to your sphere. The sphere is the most important thing here. You get a lot, and I'm meaning a lot, of boons. Yeah. Then you get some more, utility stats helps. And then, of course, whenever you combo in a combo field, you get the aura of the corresponding element. That can be really helpful, especially in Earth, because you get magnetic aura, which you then can transmute. You will get to that in a second. Then you get Fury when you weapon swap, not that important, but you get energy. This is really important when you switch attunements. So energy is the resource that you need for deploying your Jade Sphere, so you have to have that all the time. You switch a lot around. It's really important. Then you get more boons when you use the sphere. The most notable here is quickness. Whenever you use a Jade Sphere, you apply quickness. But depending on the element, you get might, vigor, fury, and ages to your allies as well. And it's really long lasting. So look at this. 38 seconds of might, 19 seconds of fury and vigor. It's crazy long. So you overcap so much on this build with the boons that you every 30 seconds or so you have to swap to earth to get the nice protection stuff, but that's about it. So you don't really have a strict rotation. Then Sphere Specialist, that's why it's so good, because the duration increase of your boons is 100% increase because of this trait. But more important, the second line of this trait is actually even more important. You can now gain energy while Jade Spheres are active. That means you can use all your Jade Spheres at the same time and still get enough energy to use them consecutively. It's really, really good. You just spam your Jade Spheres and you will have those 10 boons almost permanently. Or you will have them permanently, and stability you have to do a little bit more to make it permanently. Let's quickly talk about the utility skills. So you will always go for Arcane Brilliance because it's a blast finisher, another Caracosa block. Then you will always go for Signet of Water. It's really, really good. It's a revive, long range, 1200, 5% revive. It is a heal, and it's really, really strong. Short cooldown. Then you can go for Arcane Wave. It's a nice daze, and it's also a blast finisher. You proc Caracosa again. It's a jump now, so it's not a wave anymore. And you can swap that. There are a lot of options. So you can go, for example, for if you need to reposition Lightning Flash, you can use more CC with Conjured Frostbow or Conjured Lightning Hammer. So there are many options in that sense. But the utility skills on your Catalyst are not that crazy good, sadly. So you have to typically run the same all the time that are not always that useful. But you have the Renewal of Water as well, which is depending on the element. So if it's in fire, it's a different one. If I would use, if someone goes down, you can revive them 100% if you go in water. If you want to revive multiple people, you can also do that in earth. So those two are, would say, the best ones. In air, you can teleport someone to you, and in fire, you can get some kind of self-resurrection going. So typically use the water one if only one is down, and if 3 are down, you use the earth one. And then very important, you have the Glyph of Elementals. Really, really strong. You use it in water all the time. It has some extremely strong heal. So don't waste it. It's instant cast. Always use it off cooldown when you need heal. But if you don't need heal, don't pop it yet. It's extremely strong. So you have to summon it first, but then the cast after that is instant. So that is extremely strong. Look at the heal. It's 7.6k. It removes a Condi and it has some bright bar damage. And it's with the outgoing healing modifiers, it's over 10k easily. So it's instant cast and it's really, really strong here. Let's talk about the weapon skill very quickly. So water is your main healing source. So in water you get the nice soothing mist as well. But you of course get also nice blast finishes on your 2. You get a healing and the revive from range. 1200 range revive is insane. It's a water field, so if you combo that with your blasts, also heal. You get some nice ice field. And you get regeneration, really heavy, long-lasting regeneration that also heals a lot, and it cleanses condition the skill, so always use that when you need it. Of course, your Jade Sphere gives a lot of resolution, vigor, quickness, are really strong. It's also water field, really important. In fire, you typically don't use that many skills. 4 is to reposition, and that's about it. The 2 skill is just used because of the fire field, the combo field, to stack some might. We will get to the rotation in a second. In air, you typically can use your gust as a CC, but you use typically only windborne speed for some super speed and swiftness for your allies. And of course you get fury. In fire you get might. And in earth, that's the more useful trait line in that sense. You get some emob and another blast finisher with your 2. The 3 skill is the most important one here. You give to yourself magnetic aura, but, and that's the cool part, if you transmute the magnetic aura, so you press this skill again, you give stability to your allies around you. So if you stand close to them, stack on them as you do in PvE, you give really long-lasting stability over 11 seconds. And that can help to upkeep 100% stability, because you can, for example, if you dodge or if you use a blast finish or whatever in a combo field, you get another magnetic aura that you then can transmute again. So you can consistently transmute your magnetic aura and provide 100% stability uptime. So let's quickly go over the rotation. You are a healer, you don't really have that much of a rotation. You just have an opener that is really important. The opener would be you start in water attunement and precast the ice spike, which is the blast finisher, so the 2 skill. Then you switch to fire attunement, get the lava font out directly under the ice bag so that you can get the first might blast, which gives some might. You deploy your shade sphere in fire to get even more might, and then you dodge. And while you are dodging, you swap to earth attunement so that you can get the blast finisher from the evasive arcana trait. And that means that you get the magnetic aura as well because of the blast finisher. You can then use arcane brilliance as well to get even more might, and transmute your earth aura to get some stability to your allies. Then you cast eruption, which is the 2 skill on staff on earth, and deploy your shade sphere there as well. In general, I would always deploy the shade spheres off cooldown if you don't need a special boon. Then you swap to air, deploy your shade sphere, use windborne speed, the 4 skill, and swap to water, deploy a shade sphere, use your healing rain and ice spike. And after that you are free, so to say. You can swap whenever you want. Like I said, you only have to swap every over 30 seconds to go get protection again in earth. You can delay that really long because the reason is you want to sometimes maybe give stability at a specific time, or you can also use the H's from the deploy earth sphere to specifically block a specific attack. So typically you should not spam the earth spear if you know that there will be a H's needed in the future. So it's really, really important that you do that. But other than that, you can easily spam all your skills, and or especially the shade spheres in that sense, and you have all the boons permanently. So it's very easy to get into this build, but it has a very nice min-maxing as well. So the skill ceiling can be quite high. When you want to heal, typically you use, of course, your water skills. But of course, with the Caracosa relic, you have some active skills there as well. And like I said, just dipping every 10 seconds in water will upkeep Soothing Mist and Regeneration permanently, and that will provide 1.2k healing per second for each of your party members, which is obviously insane. And your Condi Cleansing would be healing rain as well as dodging in water. And then to burst heal, typically lose the Crashing Waves, which is the Glyph of Elementals in water. It's instant cast, so it's really, really strong. Of course, you can also use Signet of Water, which is really, really strong because it's not only a revive, but it also just baseline heals quite a lot. And all your blast finishers, of course, also heal, so don't forget that. Always do the opener just to get might up and your boons up very fast. Other than that, you just use and swap through the elements. So typically you would always go fire, earth, air, water, and then repeat that so that you cycle through all the elements. But you can, of course, swap that up whenever you need to. Delay, for example, the earth sphere for H's. So it's really, really good. You can see in the background, it's amazing how easily I can upkeep all those 10 boons. And it helps a lot, not only for just general ease of use that you can upkeep those boons, but it's also good for a lot of builds that scale, for example, Dragon Hunter, with the amount of boons that you permanently have presence, or for example, Arcane DPS Elementalist. So it's very helpful if you have this kind of build in your party. So it's highly underrated how strong that is. And not only that you have a lot of boons and healing, but it's also a lot of it is from range. So you can be a really good kite for a lot of situations. You can be a really good tank because you can provide a lot of your boons and stuff from being on the other side of the map. It's really, really good. Don't underestimate this build. And be sure to give it a try. It's really, really fun as well. So I hope you enjoyed this quick guide. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for all my supports on YouTube, Patreon, and Twitch. Thanks Timo, thanks Malice, and I hope to see you all in the next video.